Hey everyone, welcome back. As interview season is about to start, and many of you will start receiving interview calls from different companies, and you know what that means. It's time to prepare like a pro. And here I am with a video on a most crucial part of a interview, that is manager round. So if you think it is just a normal conversation, think again. This round can make or break your chances. In this, I'll be sharing an interview question that were asked to me during a different interviews. This video is gonna be for educational purposes only. So grab your notebook and start taking notes as that could land you your dream job. Let me walk you through agenda first for this video and you will exactly know what to expect. We'll kick things off with an overview of a manager round. Next, we'll be focusing on the questions for junior developers, perfect for those 1 to 3 years of experience. After that, we'll move on to the advanced questions for mid-level developers, diving into the scenarios that you will likely to face with 3 or more years of experience. Finally, I'll be sharing some bonus tips that will help you to impress your interviewers and you will stand out as a perfect candidate. As you know, this video is for front-end developers, mostly for React developers, but even it is helpful for non-React developers. Example, if someone is using Angular, they can also refer to this video. Many people call this manager round as round 2 as well. But let me clear you one thing that this is not a technical interview. If you have a manager from a technical background, he or she might ask you a technical scenario based question as well. And if you are lucky, there will be just a behavioral questions. But most of the time, it's a combination of technical and behavioral questions. Most of our engineering managers are from technical background, so it's better to be prepared for all the scenarios as they will be evaluating your technical skills, team collaboration and decision making skills. So let's start with our questions. So he or she might wanted to know more about your role. For that, he might start the question with what is your role in your project and do you work in HTML, CSS and React? What is the backend system you used? How would you ensure the responsiveness of your website? What version of Angular or React you have worked on? What is a progressive web application? Describe a time when you have to learn something new quickly to complete a task. How did you manage it? Describe a situation where you have worked in your team to achieve a project goal. So first, he will try to know more about your background, your day-to-day activities or responsibilities. So be clear about your role, whether it is developing a UI or collaborating with another team. Explain the use of the technology that contribute to your project. Based on the information, further the manager will modify his questions. Remember, the question seems basic, but they reveal a lot about your skills and attitude. So next, manager might ask you, how would you optimize a slow performing web application? How would you handle a cross browser compatibility issue? How do you stay updated with the latest trend in the front-end development? Can you describe a challenging project you have worked on and how would you manage it? What is a middleware in React? How do you troubleshoot an issue when your code doesn't work? What is your first approach for solving it? So this time, this isn't about what, but it's about how. So you will have to explain your thoughts in a structured manner and you will have to showcase your problem solving skills. So you might have to make a story for it, obviously a real story that you have came across in your project. And while responding, tell it properly from the beginning, middle and the end. So manager might further ask you about the technologies that you have used and what kind of version you have used. He might also ask you the difference between the current and previous version. Describe a situation where you have to integrate a complex third-party API into your application and what were the challenges you faced while doing it. If your application experiences sudden slowdown or downtime, what tools and metrics you would use to identify bottlenecks and act promptly. So all these questions are repetitive questions. Even I have faced these questions in a different interview from different interviewers. So what I would suggest is to make a story and to have it properly written right from the start, middle, and end so that it will help you to answer this question properly. So now let's start with manager round questions for 3 plus years of experience. So in this we'll be seeing more how questions rather than what questions. Means they'll be testing your problem solving skills and team collaboration skills. So let's start with our first question. How do you ensure a code maintainability and scalability in large projects? What is your experience with version control system like Git? How do you ensure a security of a web application? Describe a situation where you have to manage a conflicting technical requirements and how do you resolve it? How do you mentor a junior in your team? How do you manage your time while balancing multiple responsibilities? How would you design a Netflix app? Or how would you start building an Amazon web application or any e-commerce application? How do you handle a situation where your team is not meeting a deadlines or expectation? How would you split the task? What is your reporting tool used in your current project? What is the kind of build management system you use? What is the size of your current team? What are your roles and responsibilities in current project? How do you manage the security like user credential or data protection or data encryption? Let's move to some advanced questions that you might face in your manager round, particularly when dealing with real world challenges like scalability, performance, and reliability. These are designed to evaluate your thought process and technical expertise. But according to my experience, this kind of questions are generally asked for the candidates above 5 years of experience. But it is better to prepare so that any of the question popped up in your interview, you will be well prepared and you will be able to answer it more efficiently. So, let me walk you through these questions. Your application receives a frequent update from a real-time API, example, stock price or chat messages. Describe how would you maintain a responsive UI while keeping the data up to date. If your application start experiencing a sudden increase in the API request or a failed API request, what step would you take to investigate and resolve the issue efficiently? Would adopting a microservice architecture help scale your application? Why and why not? Your application receives a high traffic to content heavy pages. Would you use a static site generation or caching via server side rendering help? And how? So don't get panicked with this kind of question. As I always said, prepare a story and go through this question because this kind of question might be same in all the interviews. So it's better to take a notes of it, prepare it in advance and give your best. I know some of you might already be feeling overwhelmed because of these questions. So I have came up with few tips that will help you to excelling a manager round. But if you want to know the answer of the questions that I have covered in this video, do let me know in the comment section. I can make another video in which we can discuss how to answer this type of questions in structural way. But now, without wasting much time, let's go through few tips. Know your resume inside out. It is very important to know your resume and the points that you have mentioned on it because manager often use your resume as a starting point to ask in-depth question. And be ready to discuss any project, technology, or experience that is mentioned in your resume. I have personally seen too many candidates writing too many skills on their resume, and when the questions are being asked about those skills, they are not able to answer any of this. So, I would suggest you to write only those skills in which you are pro, and you'll be able to answer it. Highlighting your problem solving skills. This whole manager round interview is to judge you on your problem solving skills. So you actually have to highlight it. You can use a story or you can also use some keywords like situation, task, actions, results to give an answer in a structural way. Also, be prepared with examples that showcase how you solved a complex issues or collaborated with cross-functional teams or overcome some challenges. I am sure with this, your manager will surely be impressed. Be ready to discuss a real world scenarios. You can expect a scenario based question. They may involve resolving a few conflicts or handling tight deadlines or also handling a priority task. Your answer should reflect a strategic thinking. And if you're not able to answer any of the question or any of the scenario based question properly for whatever reason, you can draw a similar situation from your past and explain it. Because manager often just wanted to hear how would you handle a situation. But before that, you should always have a practice of explaining a technical concept in simple terms because manager might or might not be from a technical background and he just wanted to know the approach. How would you approach the scenarios? Ask meaningful questions. Often, I have seen many candidates, when given a chance to ask a questions, they don't have any question to ask, and that does create a negative impact on your manager. I mean, you are having a call with a manager, so you shouldn't miss any chance to impress him and grab your dream job. So, show some interest in your role and ask some question about it, or learn about the team, or understand the expectation from them. Also, you can ask about the feedbacks. Um, I'm sure they will provide amazing feedbacks. Also, avoid a generic questions like how quickly I will get promoted after I join your company, or do you have any work from home options? Stay calm and professional. Manager round is stressful and may have many unexpected questions. Stay calm and take a deep breath before answering any questions. Don't panic over unknowns. As I have said earlier, if there is any unknown question or any question that you don't know how to answer it, just drag some similar situation or some similar experience from your past and start explaining it. Avoid emotional reaction and always practice active listening. Fully listen to the question before responding and avoid interrupting the interviewer. Thank you so much for watching this video. I am sure that after going through these questions and following the tips that I have shared in this video, you will excel in your interviews and confidently land your dream job. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, comment and share this video with your friends and the colleagues, those who are preparing for the interviews. Also, subscribe to my channel for more valuable content. Your support keeps me motivated to create more videos like this. Best of luck with your interviews, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.